Good morning. It is another beautiful Wednesday morning, and we know that it's time for Victory Hour on this platform of Chat Room with Dr. Victory. I am excited today. I don't know about you because I'm always excited every new day because it is by the mercy of God that we are alive. We thank God for another opportunity to have a wonderful time in Victory Hour. Remember, Victory Hour is the place where I teach people how to live victoriously in their everyday lives. And also in those other areas of their life where they always feel defeated, I teach them how to have victory. Remember last week I did a topic on raising children 303. That is the part 3 of the topic. By the grace of God, today's topic is going to be the ending of the series. Remember, it's a series that I started some time ago on raising children. I said I will run it for some time. So I did part 1, part 2, part 3. Today is going to be the part 4 and the final part on raising children. I know we have been blessed tremendously, by this topic that I've run for some time, four parts now. So if you are already really blessed by this teaching, why not tell somebody about it? Let the person watch, all the preceding videos that I did on raising children. When you love somebody, something that blesses you, let the person know. So let your friends, your colleagues, your family members know about this Victory Hour, and encourage them to like the page and to watch all the videos. So I'll just do a little recap of the topic I did last week, that is raising children 303, because we always have limited time. So I will not go into explaining, but I'll just read through what I did last week was understanding teenagers. And we say teenagers are those children from the ages of 13 to 19, who will be experiencing some challenges in their bodies, physically, emotionally, psychologically, and otherwise. And sometimes they don't know what has happened. They don't know how to go about all the changes that they experience. Sometimes they go the wrong way. They need, to be corrected. They need to be, shown the right way in the, in the atmosphere of love. So I taught on how to understand teenagers. Number 1 point I said teenagers are idealistic. Number 2, they're very energetic. 3, they are identity seekers. Point number 4, they are sometimes rebellious. And number 5, they are truth seekers. Number 6, they like to live in their own culture. And number 7, they like using their own language. And finally, number 8 said they are chance takers. Because of time, I'm just, doing a recap of what I did last week, because we're definitely going into the topic of today, which will even take us some time. So that was a recap of what I did last week on the topic of raising children 303. That was the part 3 of this, my series of raising children. So by the grace of God, today we'll be going into the topic of today, which is also raising children 404, which is part 4, and that is the final part of this series that I started on raising children. I know you have been blessed. So today, let's go into today's topic right away because of time. Today's topic is how to help teenagers pass through the adolescent age. Remember last week we did on understanding teenagers. Now, after understanding teenagers and the things that they are battling with, how do we help them? Because they need to be helped, because they don't even know. Most of them, they're ignorant of what is happening, and they go the wrong way, and it's not really good. But when you have understanding as a parent, on what is happening around the space of your teenager, you'll be able even to help them so that they themselves will, enjoy it. Most of the time, you see, some of the parents, they battle with pimples. Even one of my friends went to the extent of, taking the son to the doctor for injections and all that. These are the things that when you understand that it's part of you even help them to go through it. Some of them, they defer medication because is a necessary stage that they have to pass. So you just have to tell them, like they say you reduce your oil things. When we're growing up, they say you reduce your taking of butter, granules, and all those things that contain a lot of oil. that it helps to bring the pimple out. These are the things. You know, that's why I'm bringing this teaching today, because as a parent, you need to be part of the life of your teenager to help them. Most of them, they need to be helped. They don't even know they're developing pimples on their face. They don't know how to go about treating them. They keep enjoying oily things, while the reduction of the eating of those oily things will help to reduce the pimples coming out. But when you don't know, you don't even have time, your teenager, you know, they go alongside eating all these oily things, and the pimples keep coming. You know, there's some you see, they're so big and bulgy. But you as a parent, you need to be in their life to help them. That is, by the way, a digression. Let us go to the topic of today. How to help teenagers pass through the adolescent age. Last week was understanding teenagers. When you understand them, then you need to help them to pass through this stage so that it won't be difficult for them. So I will list 8 points, and then I will explain the 8 points on how to help our teenagers. The number 1 point for today is preparing them for the future. Number 2, encouraging them. Number 3, caring for and about them. Number 4, do not provoke them. Number 5, communication. Number 6, giving them unconditional love. Number 7, discipline them. Number 8, listening and understanding them. These are the points that I listed down that I will explain each and every one of them on how to help teenagers. Before I start explaining, I want to go through them once again. 8 points that I listed on how to help our teenagers pass through the adolescent age. Number 1, preparing them for the future. Number 2, encouraging them. Number 3, caring for and about them. Number 4, not provoking them. Number 5, communication. Number 6, giving them unconditional love. Number 7, discipline them. Number 8, listening and understanding them. So let me go on explaining the points that I've listed on how to help help our teenager. Yes, last week was understanding them. Now that we've understood teenagers and their space, we need to help them. How do we go about that? Number 1, preparing them for the future. We all know that our children, you know, your babies, your lovely babies are always saying, Mommy, buy me toys, Mommy, buy me biscuits, Mommy, buy me cookies and all that. Within a twinkling of an eye, they've grown. You know, they are now teenagers, and, you know, they are out of your grips. You want to be closer to them. They want to stay on their own. When you understand that is as a result of the developmental process that is going on, you know, through them, you will understand and say, oh, this is my once time a baby now needs my help. And, you know, when you show them love and try to be close to them, you will get them and then be able to help them. So they have a little time to spend with you, and before you know it, they're out. You know, by the grace of God, like my first son is 19, by the grace of God. We were very close when he was small. You can even say we were so close. But now he's a teenager, he's in the university. I can't even, you know, they even told me before I come to their room, I knock. Most of the time you find I've already badged inside their room, I'll knock. They say, oh, Mommy, you've come again. Mommy, you always enter before you knock. That is show you the closeness. But you need to understand them and now know this is their space. They always tell you close the door. Even they say, Mommy, my door. I says, oh, sorry, dear, I forgot. I'll close the door when you're leaving their room. So these are the things that, you know, is inevitable. It's part of them. And before you know it, is actually even that his father said he didn't want him to be in the rest. That is the residential. He didn't want him to stay in the school. He would have been in the school and he would have gone out of my house. That's what I'm trying to teach today. You understand them that one day they will leave you. That is preparing them for the future. You need to prepare them by making them to be responsible and matured so that they can stay on their own. Because when they are in the universities, when they're staying on their own, you are not there with them. You would have taught them on how to make the bed, how to cook, how to take care of themselves, how to do their washing, ironing, and all that. You know, how to be matured. Like we have a lot of examples of people that are not matured. You see somebody who is a 45-year-old man or woman behaving as if they are 10 or 15. It happens. It is there because they are not matured emotionally and otherwise, because at home they were not prepared for the future. That's why this teaching is coming to let you know that you need to teach your teenagers to be mature, to be able to stay on their own. You can find out that there's some even that are 15-year-old, they're behaving like they're 45 because they are matured emotionally because of the way they were brought up. So it's the same. We as parents, we need to teach our children responsibility, make them to be matured, physically, emotionally, and otherwise, enabling them to stay on their own. Remember, dealing on the topic of how to help our teenagers. I said, number one, you need to prepare them for the future. This is one of the points that I've mentioned about how to help them. You need to prepare them for the future. You know, not be doing everything on their own. You know, I said this is a practical teaching. I use myself as point of, you know, example because of the things I've passed through. You know, I am the kind of person, because of the way I was brought up, in my family was only I and my immediate elder sister. I think I was in the university before even my father married the second wife, and my stepbrother and sister started coming. So I didn't really, you know, experience them. I was already grown up before they come. What I'm trying to explain is that I and my sister were just two of us for some time, and it is a kind of, if you want to understand it that way, I think we were spoiled. So when I got into marriage, I was trying to treat my children like that. My husband said, "Hey, woman, these guys are boys. You don't treat them like that." So my husband trying to give them liberty, teach them how to use the ATM card, how to go to the bank, how to go to the shop. You know, those, I want to be doing it for them. But my husband was like, look at a lot of children that are doing this on their own. Leave these boys. When you want to treat them that way they treated you people are girls. So what am I trying to say? You need to allow your children to be matured. You need to treat them to be matured, you know, so that they can, you know, be able to stay on their own in their future. That is point number one, about preparing them for their future. Number two is encouraging them. Oh my goodness, this is a wonderful point. The teenagers need a lot of encouragement in order for them not to make mistakes, a lot of mistakes, because they keep on making mistakes. It's part of the deal, because what they are experiencing, they are not used to it. But when you are there as a parent, as a teacher, as a relation to help them, they will not encounter a lot of mistakes. Parents must be there for them always, because encouragement is part of nurturing. Remember earlier on when I was teaching on Raising Children 101, I said part of the responsibility of the parents is to nurture children. We need to nurture them. So encouragement is part of nurturing. You attend school sports events, you know, with them. Most of our parents are so busy. We're so busy making money. We don't have time for our children. That's why they make mistakes. That's why they fall into a whole lot of things, because you're not there for them. Please make out time for your children. And remember, I said this, my teaching is illustrative. That's why I give a lot of example. There's one well-known TV host that I was watching. You know, he was doing his birthday, and it was the children and the wife and you know, the family, they were around. They were giving people time to talk, you know, some things about them. You know, one of the sons, who is a teenager, came. He said, "Daddy, one thing that you did that touched my heart." He said there was a school sports event that the father gave a school. He said he's not going to come because of his engagement. He said he was worried when his friends, all their parents came, and he was just sad. He said the father showed up with the mom. He said that was the biggest surprise of the day and made him to win that event. Why? Because he attended. So try to make out time for your children's sports events. Not only sports, school events. Try to be there. Well, parents are even meeting. Like my son in the secondary school or high school, most of the parents meeting, they will tell them to come. You will find out that some students, they will come, their parents are not there. Some of them, they'll stay by the gate waiting, using their phone, calling the parent. These are the things that matter to the children, not even money. You can give them money, give them expensive cell phones, all those things are fabulous. But it's not the most important thing. They want you to be there. You see the way they'll smile from their hearts because they're seeing others with their parents. So they need to be encouraged. Another thing, even when they make mistake, encourage them. It's not only, you know, when they make mistake, you shout or shout. When they make mistake, tell them it's part of life. Please, next time, don't do it like that. Don't shout at them because they're already feeling bad because of the mistake they make. Then when you keep on hammering on that mistake they make, they don't even know where they will stand. So they need to be encouraged. Compliment their good work, attitude. You know, tell them to try it again. Oh, this thing you did. Even my children, when they wash the dishes, when they clean the house, I compliment. I say, oh, this whole house is looking sparkling clean. You know, when they dress the bed, because that's one, hey, I still fight with them up till now. They say, Mommy, when they come back, they'll make the bed. You know, these are the things you find out. Some things that the teenagers do, they struggle to do. But when you find out they do it, compliment them. You know, it boosts their ego. They want to do more. And besides being teenagers, it's even the same thing with human beings. We all like to be complimented. That is point number 2. Let's go to point number 3. Caring for about them. The teenagers, they need to be cared for. Please, I said money, expensive phone, expensive clothes and shoes are not love, are not care. Those things are wonderful. I give those things to my children. Every parent desires to do that. But those things does not show love. Please, make sure you care for them. A parent who cares for teenagers must spend time with them. Spend time with them. The more you care for them, the more you learn about them. The more you go close to them. Sometimes I go to my son's room. You know, both of them have different rooms. I'll go to this one's room. Sometimes they're playing music. I'll be dancing. They will be laughing. Hey, mom, this is it. Some they even say, hey, they will give me sharp or they'll give me high five. While I'm trying to be in their space, sometimes I'll sit down and listen. What is this? What is this? This one will tell me, oh, this exam. This. I said, yes. I was once like that when I was in your stage. It's tedious, but it's just once and for all. You know, that thing gives them a boost. There was even day I was talking to my second son that is writing matric now. You know, that's the last stage of every high school that takes you to the university. You know, I started encouraging him. And, you know, when he was talking, he said my word of encouragement that encouraged him, that, you know, he was getting scared about the exam, how the teachers were talking about it on the news, everything about it. I say it's part of it because it's a major exam of your life that has to do with your future. You know, as we started talking, he now told me about one of his friends. You know, by the grace of God, my second son is among the top 10 in his school. Actually, he's even number 2 about the top 10. The number 1 is a girl. I said, Mom, I'm trying to beat this girl, but I don't know how to beat. I say, you know, we women, we always, you know, tenacious about the things we do. Well, that is by the way, because one of his friends that is among the top 10, you know, is a boy. You know, he was telling me about this boy. He said that this boy is so stressed about this exam that he's having 28% and all that. I said, no, he's very close to you. You need to talk to him. You need to encourage him the way I encourage you so that he can come up. And by the grace of God, I believe he did it and his friend is coming up. So that is it. They need to be encouraged. If I didn't encourage him, he will not have the God to encourage his friend. So we need to care for our teenagers and care about them. Care for them and care about them. You know, he said the more you care for them, the more you learn about them. Talking to them should not only be for correction and discipline. That is where the problem of most parents lies. It's only when they did something bad, you keep nagging and nagging and nagging. Oh my goodness, you see, they'll feel like running away from the house. It's not good. Me that is teaching you, I'm not 100%. I've been there, but I've learned my lessons. Teenagers, they don't need to be nagged. They need to be corrected in love. There's a way you will talk to them right there where you're talking to them, because you're talking to them with love, they will apologize. But there are some that the way you will talk to them will make them to do the worst thing. Please remember, they need to be cared for and cared about. That is the job of we parents. That is point number 3. Let's go to point number 4. Our time is running so fast. You know, I don't make my teachings to be lengthy so that we can learn things. But I'm going to rush because I'm on point number 4 and we still have 4 more to go. Remember, I listed 8 points. Point number 4 said communication. Don't use one-way communication, but use 2 ways. This is most of the problem of we parents. You use one way. Hey, Jude, you do blah, 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 blah. Hey, Sarah, you do blah, 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 blah. No, talk to them. You say, you know, Sarah, what you did, I don't like it. Please, you really make me upset as a mom. This. What do you have to say? You keep quiet. They even talk. He said, please, can you talk? I want to hear your view. You know, you try to, you know, force them to say something. Not even force, cajole them out of love. And they will respond. You know, let your children have the atmosphere of love. Remember, I said communication. Use the 2-way communication, not one. Not you open their room. Blah, 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 blah. Your teacher say you do this. Your teacher did. You're bringing a shame to the family. Oh, my goodness, it's not good. I got an SMS from your teacher today. They said you missed your mathematics class. What happened? Are you okay? Were you feeling well, or were you having it? What is it? Are you discouraged? Don't you like the teacher? Then you keep quiet and wait for the child to talk. You'll be surprised your child will open up and tell you the reason why he or she did what they did. That is it. That's point number 4 that I'm talking about, communications. Okay, still on that communication, most teenagers distance their parents because they use one-way communication. You see, because you always nagging, blah, 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 blah. I told you, I said, me, the teacher, I'm not perfect, but I've really learned. Remember, even my first one, there was a day, he said, Mom, you always talk, you don't allow us to talk. I said, no, okay, now I'm sorry, can you talk? So I said, these things will learn. Don't always talk, allow your children to talk. Let them aid their view. Even if it's foolish, let them talk, then you correct them. How will you even know that there is foolishness in their hearts if you don't allow them to talk? So he said, apologize to them and let them also do so. Oh my goodness, that is one of the major things that is more important in this helping of teenagers. You know, you yourself, you should, you know, teach them by example. Apologize. Even my boys apologize. Oh, I'm sorry the way I talked to you. I'm sorry the way I shouted. I'm sorry the way I did this and that. And you find out that, I find out that even my boys, they started learning. Most of the time, they now, you know, apologize. Oh my goodness. I say, oh God, this thing is working. Please, we need to use a two-way communication, not a one-way communication for our children all the time. Not talking, nagging and shouting at them. No, allow them to talk. Let them aid their view. Let them say their mind. That is point number 4. Let's go to point number 5, not provoking them. Do not abuse your teens. Don't make them upset. Make sure that the punishment you're giving them is appropriate. Don't just always shout. Don't always hit them. You know what? The stage they are, they're teenagers. There's a way you hit them, they want to react. And it's not say, oh, my child is beating me. No, you are the one that went off the hook. Teenagers, to them, what is happening around them, they feel they're adult. They feel even like they're like you. So you have to apply wisdom on how to talk to them and on how to go about handling the issues. Time is really not on our side, but I want to finish these points for today. He said, don't be too restrictive. Being unfair as regards to expectation, what you expect them to do. Most of us, we get higher expectation from our children than when we were in school. No, try to use yourself, you know, as example, when you were in school, how you struggle with some subjects. So don't raise a high standard or expectation, and when they didn't meet it, then you're shouting at them. No. Even don't be too restrictive on, you know, allow them. Just remember I said that something is happening in their space. They have their language, they have their dress code, they have the things they do, but there should be a boundary. But you allow them to be who they are. You know, he said, and you as a parent, don't live a double standard life. When you live a double standard life, they are even confused. They don't know what is happening. They don't even know what you're telling them. You're telling them to pray while you don't pray. You're telling them don't lie while you lie. Oh my goodness, that is most mistake that most teenage parents make. You tell your children, you know, don't lie, and you're busy lying on the phone. You're telling somebody that you're by the shop, or you're by the filling station, or you're by somewhere else while you are in your house. And the children are listening. So that is the same thing. Provoking is not really making them upset. Provoking is just confusing them. They don't even know what to believe. You told them this, you're living another thing. You tell them to pray, you're not praying. Please, as parents, ways of not how to provoke them is to live by example. Anything you tell them to do, let them see it, that you're living. Go to church, go to work, everything early. Let them see you doing it. No, most parents, they will be shouting at the teenagers, hey, go to school, hey, go. What they see you go to work late. Please, we should live by example. Point number 6, giving them unconditional love. Oh my goodness. Not showing them love only when they walk in obedience. No. It should be an unconditional love. Whether they obeyed or disobeyed, they are your children. They are part of you. And knowing fully well that this is what will help them in their future. Please try to show them unconditional love. Let it not be a conditional love with conditions. It's only when they do good I will love them. It's only when they pass exams that will buy things for them. No. Unconditional love. Whether they obeyed or disobeyed, whether they, you know, they pass their exams or not, you know, whether even they disobey you, if they are your children, you should show them love. The same thing with God, our maker that made us. God doesn't show no conditional love. If not, most of us wouldn't have been here today, because each and every day we disobey God, we make him angry, even knowingly or unknowingly. Some we know it, some we don't even know it. But he still loves us. So it should be the same with us, with our children. Try to get involved in their space, their music, their dress code, their dance step. Try to tell them, you know, now what is in vogue is this, the ripped up jeans and all that. You can stop it. It's what is in vogue with them. Tight jeans and all that. There was a time what was in vogue then was bogus jeans. Now it's tight one. So try to involve in their space. Don't, you know, make them feel as if what they're doing is bad. It's actually what is happening in their space. Parents must take care of what God has entrusted in their hands. That is your teenagers, your children. I know that it's not easy. When they were a baby, it was sweet and all that. But now you read it. That was why you need to go through my teaching last week and see how to understand teenagers. Then today is how to help them. Point number 7, we are making progress. That's wonderful. Discipline them. Yay! Teenagers know that discipline is part of tough love, but they love it. because they actually want to be disciplined and they respect somebody that disciplined them. You know, even when you can use yourself as example, when we were teenager, when we were in school, we love those teachers that are very, very strict. We don't joke with them. They are strict with your assignments, your homework, whether you didn't do them, they'll punish you. Even the same thing at home. They'll say, mom, even children, they know most of the time, they say, mommy or daddy, you know, there's always a balance in the home. Is it that the mom or the dad that is more strict? The children, they know the best, but they love the person that disciplined them because they know that person is trying to shape them up for the future. So you need to discipline your children because they need it if you really want them to have a wonderful future in life. Discipline is a major act of raising up your teenagers and helping them. All right, we are making progress. The last point is listening and understanding them. Remember, we're dealing on the issue of helping teenagers pass through their adolescent age. Listening and understanding them. Most parents does not listen to their children. There's this saying that said teenagers, they need to be seen and not to be heard. That is wrong. I want to correct it today. Teenagers need to be seen and to be heard. Parents need to listen to their teenagers and try to relate with them. Try to relate what is happening in your school. Why are you not playing soccer? You know, like my first son, he was very good in soccer when he was in his final days in primary school. That should be grade 7. You know, he was actually their goalkeeper, and so sometime he had an accident. They were playing and he broke his ankle, and he was wearing this POP, plaster of Paris, for some weeks. So he lost interest in soccer. Now it's his younger brother that took up the soccer spirit. He's even in academy, and you know, I said it sometime in my teaching that the father said, now because you're writing matric, my friend, you need to mellow down. So he was not actually going for his soccer practices. So what am I trying to say? They need to be heard. They need to be, you know, related. We need to relate with them. I used to go for their soccer practice. I stand there on the field and shout, hey, hey, you know, that's it. Because you see other parents, even, oh, it's amazing. Some parents, not only parents, even their grandparents, you see, they're cheering them. Oh, these are the things that children love. Even when they were involved in academics. Athletics. I was trying to say athletics. You know, when they were running. I found out that even 2 of their friends, their mothers were not they're supposed to come. So I went on behalf of them. They were so excited because I am a mother to their friends. So they felt, and the way we welcomed them in my home, they even call me Mommy V. So they were excited. I was, you know, when they're running, you stand up, you shout at them, go, go, and all that. Oh my goodness. I found out that this helped the children. That is relating with them, being there for them. Not giving excuses. You find out that, especially if you're involved in your business, if you're working in a secular job, if it has to do with hospital, with sports or school activities for your children, they will give you off. If you just, you know, lay that complaints in your office, they'll give you an off. They even say the whole day because they know it's important. They know that family life is important. Most of us, we don't even want, because sometimes they take off one pay of that one day. What will it cost you? Just a day pay. Comparing it to, you know, the destiny of that your child. So we shouldn't take some of these important things for granted. They're really, really important in the life of these children. Yeah, I've explained these teenagers need to be heard and not only to be seen. You need to hear them out. Sometimes let them talk, let them pour out their hearts, because it's no good they're bottling it up there. And you find that when you don't give them time, when you don't relate, oh my goodness, social media is there. That is what is spoiling a lot of teenagers now, social media. Do you know why? Because the mom is not available. The parents, they are not there for them. That's why you see a lot of teenage pregnancy, because the mom is not there. The mom is busy working 5 to 6 jobs, bringing money, buying them expensive cell phone, buying them expensive cars, expensive cell phone, expensive clothes and shoes. Yes, those things are wonderful. I do those for my children. But that love they needed is more important. You find that most teenage girls, there was one recent story we had, the mother is a manager in how many shops, but the daughter fell pregnant. You know, even the person that was reading the story with me was like, the mom is not there for them. It's not good. You know, you make them to make mistake in life. You need to be there. You need to encourage them. Let them open up. That's why I'm saying, you know, some questions they would have asked about puberty, about sex, you know, about girls relating with men and sorry, with boys and boys relating with gays. You are not there. They will go to social media, and the social media will give them the wrong advice. Some of them, they go to the wrong friends that will tell them, why don't try it out. I found that most of these teenage pregnancies, their first time of sleeping with a man, they'll get pregnant because there was nobody there to explain to them the dangers of sleeping with a man when you're not married. So that's why this teaching is coming, that please, parents, we need to be there for them. As parents, we assume a lot about them. We will know just a little. Don't assume. I assume this about my child. No, you don't know until they open up and talk to you. You might assume, oh, this my daughter has been sleeping with boys I know because of boyfriend, while you don't even know she's still a virgin because you don't have time with her. You don't even spend time. But when you spend that, you find that, oh, this my child is still pure. It's just that, you know, she's scared. She needs somebody to talk to. Please, I'm ending this my teaching here today, and I believe you have learned a thing or two. Please, I don't even know is not, you can say it's a good coincidence that this last point is coming here, and I want to round up with it, listening, please, and understanding them. And remember, I said you need to relate with them. As parents, we assume a lot. Don't assume about your teenagers. You need to hear them out. You need to relate with them, because if you don't do that, social media, internet, bad friends will do that, and you might not like the outcome, because you know bad friends will always tell them that's the inti, why don't try it out, while you as a mom would have given a godly good counsel that will help your child. Please try to be there for your teenage son and your teenage daughter, and you will really be glad you did. I've come to the end of my teaching today. Remember, I said it's a series that started some time ago, Raising Children 101, part 1, 202, part 2, 303, part 3, and today, 404. Part 4, I've ended. So by the grace of God, I'll see you next week, Wednesday, where I'm going to teach another wonderful topic. You know, the normal topic that I've been teaching is going to be wonderful. I am going to teach on how to deal with in-laws. Remember, on this Victory Hour, we teach people how to live victoriously in their everyday life. And also those other areas of their life where they always feel defeated, I'll teach them how to have victory. So next week, I'm going to, you know, teach on how to deal with in-laws. You don't say, okay, because, okay, I'm not yet married. No, you intend to marry one day. So you even need to know about it before you marry. Remember, they say build the ark before the flood comes. You don't start building the ark when the flood is. The flood will carry you and your materials and go away. So keep a day with me next week, Wednesday, as I teach on how to deal with in-laws. And also with what you have learned today, try to let your friends, your colleagues, your family members, even including your enemies, you know, to know about this. Let them know about Victory Hour. You know, encourage them to like our page here, Chat Room with Dr. Victory, and let the teachings that have been blessing you bless them also. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you next week. Keep a date with me. I love you. Bye.